Welcome to the Old Time Radio Westerns. I'm your host, Andrew Rines, and let's get into this episode. This episode is going to be The Lone Ranger. Original air date is March 8th, 1946, and the title is Doc's Second Chance.
Fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. Nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! Let's go, big fellow! I'm Silver! Aye!
A big clock in the corner ticked slowly and ponderously, as if it sensed the silent drama of life and death that went on beyond the closed door to the bedroom. 3 men were waiting. Lem Decker toyed with a heavy 6-gun. The sheriff sat motionless. The third man, still wearing the white apron of a bartender, looked nervously from the bedroom door to the big clock.
Seems like it's taken the doc a mighty long time.
If he don't finish with my cousin pretty soon, I'm going into that bedroom and see what's a delay.
Oh, take it easy, Lem. Put that gun away.
You mind your own business, Sheriff.
Doc's doing the best he can.
That good-for-nothing sawbones. I could have taken that bullet out myself in less time than this.
Oh, give Doc Stevens a chance.
The cousin was hit mighty close to the heart, Lem. Doc said he didn't have more than a 1 to 10 chance of pulling through.
He'd better pull through. Well, the doc won't have 1 chance in a million.
Lem, you've had it in for Doc Stevens ever since he found out that some of your stock was diseased.
You didn't see no one shooting livestock before Stevens came to Hunter's Creek. I could have sold that cattle.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one that says Doc Stevens should be run out of town, Sheriff. Ask Hank Frisbee about him.
Hank should be downright grateful to the doc for finding out that his well water wasn't fit to drink.
He better pull my cousin through. That's all I got to say.
Here I am. Any word yet?
Not yet, Sam. Close the door. I'll let you know.
Right.
Decker, what's going on?
Did you see what those boys had with them?
I saw a fence rail.
Yeah. If my cousin dies, Stevens is going for a ride on that rail.
Lem, now you listen to me.
He's going for a ride as far as the edge of town, where there'll be some hot tar and a lot of feathers waiting.
Lem, you can't
Save
do
your
that.
breath, Sheriff. I'm holding this gun on you.
But I
said shut up. In 5 more minutes, I'm going into that room and see why Doc's taking so long. Now be quiet and watch your clock.
Hey, the clock has stopped.
I wonder if that's a bad sign.
Stay where you are, Sheriff. I'll hold the time on my watch.
Doc's coming out.
Well, Stevens,
Decker, you said you found your cousin in the back room of the cafe.
yeah, and I know why. He was shot because he'd found out who robbed the bank where he worked. He was there to meet me and the sheriff and tell us what he knew.
But he didn't tell you.
No. He was shot by someone outside the window before we got there.
I wish he'd had a chance to talk.
Is he still unconscious?
The bullet was very close to the heart.
Is he going to get well?
He's dead.
Gosh. Stevens, you figure that puts you square for the things I've said about you?
Lem, no one could have saved him.
That's a lie.
Now, Lem.
You shut up. This no good Sawbones could have saved my cousin if he wanted to.
Lem, you're
You
all...
too.
Put that gun
Stay
down.
where you are. Or I'll lose it on you. You'll pay for this, Stevens. You'll pay plenty.
What about it, Lem? How's your cousin?
Boys, the Sawbones let my cousin die.
I didn't.
Lem, wait. Think it over.
Come on in and get him.
No, Lem. You can't. Pick up, Sheriff.
Keep out of this. Take him, boys. Take him for a ride.
The Lone Ranger and Tonto had just arrived at a campsite in an arroyo not far from town.
This looks like a good place to camp, Tonto.
This is plenty good.
Big fella. As soon as we've settled here, we'll go on into town and see what we hear about Dr. Stevens.
Padre say him have plenty hard fight.
Yes, he's up against a lot of prejudice.
That's right.
We'll leave the saddlebags right here, unpack them later.
What doctor try to do?
He's testing the cattle and the water supply.
Oh,
It's curious how people oppose men who want to help them.
Padre say plenty feller not like doctor.
Stevens often took matters into his own hands when he found diseased cattle or bad water. He would... Tonto, what does that sound like?
Plenty men and plenty mad.
I'm going up to the top of the bank.
It sound like lynch mob.
You'll soon know. Tonto, they have someone on the rail.
Oh, that's not good.
There's a fire over there and a tar barrel. Come on, bring your horse. Here, Silver.
Who get right on rail? Who get car?
Tonto, it's Dr. Stevens. Steady there, Silver.
Plenty feller over there.
I've got to get the doctor steady. Come on, Silver.
Get him up, Scout.
How about that tar? Is it good and hot?
It's all set. It's ready to dump.
Bring him over close to the fire.
Get them fellers ready. Come on, Silver.
Hey, who's got that coming this way? Look at him come. He's masked.
There's an engine with him.
Get your guns out. We ain't to be stopped. They're shooting. Fire back.
He's hit the tar barrel. Lem, look at the door. Pouring all over the fire.
Fire at
I'll
it.
show that critter. No! Oh, Silver.
What's the idea?
Who are you?
Smash my arm. Anyone else want to draw a gun?
I'll call you.
Come on. Any others with ambitions?
Save me. Get me out of this.
Set his ropes, Tonto.
You get him.
The rest of you, get back.
Get him. What's the matter with all you chicken liver galoots? Get those two.
Get him yourself, Lem.
Go on. Go back some more.
Thank goodness you came.
Get up here with me, Doctor.
Yes.
Keep those men covered, Tonto.
Me wants him.
Up you come.
Thank you.
That's it. You men should be proud to go home and face your wives and children. Tell them how 20 of you nearly tarred and feathered an unarmed doctor. Go on, break it up. Go home and tell your folks about it. They'll think you're brave men. They'll think you're even braver if one of you shoots us in the back. Come on, Silver.
Get him up, Scout.
Jonathan. Oh, you poor thing.
I'm all right now, Jane. This masked man and the Indian saved my life.
Why did you do it?
Men like the doctor are making the West a better place.
I tried to, but men like Lem Decker are too powerful. They resent interference in their lives.
Even though it's for their own welfare?
Yes, it's true, Mrs. Stevens.
I guess we'll have to leave Hunter's Creek.
Leave?
No one will have anything to do with me now. Decker thinks I let his cousin die on purpose.
You're going to quit?
What else can I do?
Stick and fight it out.
Jonathan can't fight men like Lem Decker. He thought the world of his cousin. If he feels that the doctor might have saved him, he'll not rest until he's had revenge.
I'm going to call on Decker. Perhaps I can change his mind.
Oh, you can't change his mind. There's another reason why he's bitter about the death of his cousin.
What is it?
Well, Sam worked in the bank. There was a robbery, and Sam found out who'd committed it.
Uh-huh.
He was going to meet Lem and the sheriff in the cafe and tell them. Before they got there, someone fired through the window and got Sam.
I see.
If Sam had lived, he could have named the murderer and the thief. Well, the sheriff and Lem will probably accuse me of aiding the crook.
Doctor, you're needed here, and you've got to stay. I'll be back as soon as I've talked to Lem Decker. Come on, Tonto.
It was shortly after darkness had fallen. Lem Decker was in his home when a rap sounded on the door.
Who they could be? Oh, it's you, Bolly.
I want to see you for a minute, Decker.
You want to step inside?
What I've got to say can be said right here on the porch. How much did your cousin tell you?
What do you mean?
Did he name the man that shot him?
Why'd he ask?
You were the first one to get to him after the shot. He was conscious for a few minutes. Ain't that right?
Yeah,
He told you who shot him, didn't he?
maybe he did, Bolly. Maybe he mentioned a certain party that wears a white apron when he works behind the bar.
That's what I thought. Now get this, Decker. Don't make any statements you can't prove.
When I make a statement, I'll have proof to back it up.
If you're smart, you let things rest as they are. If I find you going out of your way to make trouble for me, there'll be more gunplay. Next time, it might be you the doc can't save. Or your wife.
Why,
Now, don't you forget that. The same goes if you get that Lone Ranger snooping around for evidence against me.
the Lone Ranger?
Yeah,
I'm not likely to see that man.
you've already seen him.
What?
You mean to say you didn't know who snatched the doc out of your hands this afternoon?
Great day. I never
Well,
thought...
maybe I shouldn't have told you. But now you know that he's around here, you better keep away from him. If I see you two together, I'll figure that maybe you're telling him things about me.
You got any more to say?
Just watch yourself. That's all. Be a shame if there was to be another killing in Hunter's Creek. Good night, Decker.
Who was at the door?
Oh, just someone on business, that's all, Martha.
Well, if it's any more of that shameful sort of business dealing with Doc Stevens, you better forget it.
Now, don't start that again, Martha.
The very
You don't know
idea.
what Stevens has done to me.
Made you shoot some cows.
Not only that, if you just pulled my cousin through this afternoon,
Shoot what?
never mind.
What were you going to say?
Forget it, Martha.
In the name of mercy, what's ailing you, Lem?
Martha, I've got to think things out. I'm going to the room I use for an office. I want to be alone for a little while.
Suit yourself. I lighted the lamp in there.
Window's open. Better warn Martha not to leave him
Steady,
later.
Decker.
You
keep voice down.
came through that window.
Yes.
Get out of here. Get out. Hurry. You can't be seen here.
Keep your voice down.
You don't understand.
I want to talk to you.
No. I can't talk to you, not you. Please get up before it's too late. Oh,
Out there.
Decker,
you did this. You...
Fella, run.
I'll go after him, Tonto.
Lem! Lem!
Martha,
An Indian. You shot him.
Come on, Silver.
Stand where you are. I can use this gun.
Oh, me not shoot him.
Don't lie to me. I heard what was said. Keep your hands up or I'll pull the trigger.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now to continue our story. The Lone Ranger rode hard, trying to find some trace of the man who had fired through the window, but without success. The sky was overcast. There was neither moon nor stars to break the utter darkness that had swallowed the gunman. While the masked man continued his hopeless search, Baldy walked into the room where Martha held a gun on Tonto.
Baldy, thank goodness you came.
Well, I heard a shot and... Oh, great day, that's Lem on the floor.
Yes. See if he's still alive, or better still hold a gun on that Indian.
Well, I never carry a gun, Martha.
Take this one.
Me not shoot him.
Don't give us that, you lying polecat. Where's your partner?
Baldy, Lem is still breathing. We gotta get a doctor for him.
You better do what you can without a doctor, Mrs. Decker. Whatever it is, it'll be better than Stevens could do.
There's water here. I'll bathe the wound.
I ask you a question. Where's that partner of yours?
Me hear ya.
Someone rode away as I came into the room.
Yeah? Well, that's that masked critter.
Masked?
Did you see him?
No, but Lem told me about a masked man that broke up that saved Dr. Stevens this afternoon.
Well, that's the one. He's been out to get Lem ever since he got a hunch that Lem knew who killed his cousin.
You better cut away shirt from wound.
I can do it without your help.
Better use hot water.
You shut up. You've already done enough.
That wound plenty bad, plenty close to heart. You need doctor.
I reckon you'd like to see that no-account Sawbones operate, huh? Then you'd know Lem wouldn't have a chance to get conscious.
Oh, Baldy, it is a bad wound.
I'll take this killer redskin to the sheriff and tell him to get men out hunting the masked man.
Baldy, perhaps we should have Dr. Stevens
Martha,
here.
it's the same as putting another bullet into Lem. Wouldn't surprise me to learn that Stevens got a share of the cash that was stolen from the bank. That's why he's so friendly with the murdering thieves.
Baldy, he's breathing awful faint.
Well, I'll hurry with the redskin. Maybe the sheriff can help with Lem. He's had some gunshot experience. Now go on, redskin. Get started. It's jail for you. Right here to your office, Sheriff.
What's your name, Indian?
Me Tonto.
What have you got to say?
Me not shoot feller.
I didn't expect you to admit it. Is that masked man your partner?
Me not talk.
Suit yourself. I'll lock you up and we'll go see if there's anything we can do for Lem.
Him hit plenty bad. Him need doctor.
Yeah. Baldy, maybe we should get Doc Stevens.
And let him do the same for Lem as he did for Lem's cousin?
I don't know.
I tell you, Sheriff, Stevens is hand in glove with the crooks that robbed the bank.
Doggone it. Looks like I was all wrong.
Wrong about what?
I was downright sore at Lem for the way he started a regular lynch mob against the doc.
But there wasn't a lynch mob.
Well, it might as well have been. When I heard that the masked man, the Indian, broke it up, I was all for him. I was ready to admire the men that could do more than I could do. Get in there, Tonto.
Now you see why they rescued Stevens.
We'd better get to Decker's place and see what we can do.
You better take some of the boys along with us, in case that masked crook comes back to finish his job.
I wish I knew how to figure Doc Stevens. I've been backing him up all along.
There's a lot of men outside waiting to hear about the prisoner. Hey, boys, come with me and the sheriff. We got a chance to catch a redskin's partner.
Look, Baldy!
It's all right, Sheriff. The more we get, the better.
Hey, Baldy, he the same one that shot Lem's cousin?
Sure he is.
Now, hold on, Baldy. We're not sure.
And what's more, Doc Stevens is in cahoots with him.
I think he's...
Well, listen, boys. Baldy's not sure of what he says. It's just a guess.
Boys, he's masked. He's the one that saved the doc. You remember him from this afternoon.
I know him, something. He brushed me with a bullet.
He blamed near killed me.
Well, you're going manhunting with
The angry townsmen were not the only ones who headed for the ranch house just beyond the limits of the town. The Lone Ranger rode with Dr. Stevens and his wife.
Oh, Silver, oh. Steady, big fella. Otto may have done all that can be done, Doctor. You can check on his work.
But you don't even know that Decker lived.
No, I didn't go back to find out after I lost track of the gunman.
Shall we walk right in?
Yes, of course.
Lots bigger house than Decker's cousin.
The room's over this way.
You...
Steady, Mrs. Decker.
It's all right, Martha. The masked man brought the doctor.
You murdering crook. You kill her.
Just a minute.
Mrs. Decker.
You kill her. You weren't satisfied with one murder. You had to kill my husband as well.
Is he dead?
Yes. And I'll square things for him.
Martha.
Put that gun down.
Do you think I killed your husband?
Yes, you did, and I'm going
Where's Tonto?
He's gone.
You shot him?
No, but I wish I had.
Mrs. Decker, Tonto and I were in the room with your husband when the shot came through the window. I went to try to catch the killer, but I lost him in the darkness. I brought the doctor...
Save it, I'm not interested.
You had better let me take that gun.
Stay where you are.
Careful.
Mrs. Decker is no murderer. She won't shoot.
Don't come any nearer. Stay there, I tell you.
Let me put that gun away.
No.
Here.
You!
There, that's better.
Oh, thank goodness.
Take care of her, Mrs. Stevens. She'll feel better for crying.
All right. There now, Martha. Come over here with me. Sit down and tell me everything.
We'll go to the next room, Doctor. I want to know where Tonto went.
Martha's in no condition to talk.
No, I can't question her for some time. There's Decker.
Poor devil.
If Martha thinks Tonto and I killed him, they may have a hard time proving otherwise.
Someone tried to dress the wound.
It wasn't Tonto.
Shot in almost the same place as his cousin. Well, at least they won't say I'm responsible.
Stevens, did you see that? His eyelid moved. Wait. This man's not dead. He's alive.
My bag.
Here, I'll open it for you.
No, he's too far gone. Probably internal hemorrhage.
Do what you can.
There's nothing I can do. Look where the bullet entered.
You said the cousin was shot in the same place.
Yes. And when I did my best to save him, I was accused of killing him. Well, I won't touch this man. Maybe when they see that he dies without me...
Stevens, I took you away from that mob so you could carry on your practice.
I know.
If I thought you'd stand by and watch a man die, I'd
But
let
the
him...
operation calls for working very close to the heart. There's not a chance in 100.
What chance is there if you don't operate?
None. But at least there'll be no mark of my scalpel.
Jonathan Martha's just told me.
What?
Baldy, the bartender, heard the shooting. He came here and took the Indian to jail.
He's in jail now?
Yes.
Charged with murder if Decker dies. Doctor, he can't die. He's got to live to say that neither Tonto nor I fired that shot.
But isn't he dead already?
No. Get hot water, lots of it.
But I tell you...
Bring every lamp and candle in the house to this room. Here, this table will do.
I'm sorry, but What's this?
Martha, he's alive. Lem isn't dead.
He's very low.
But you're going to save him. Doctor, you've got what few people get. You've got a second chance.
A dozen lamps and as many candles lighted the room where Dr. Stevens prepared to operate. Lem's pulse was feeble. It seemed as though his life was measured in minutes.
But you've got to save him. He's the only one who can clear Tonto.
The doctor's hand trembled as he chose a razor-edged scalpel and prepared to make an incision.
Steady. Steady, Doctor. That's it.
What's that?
I'll look out the window.
It's the mob. I hear it again. The same as the other time.
You can't stop now, man.
A lot of men coming here.
For me.
Go on. Your work's more important than a mob. I'll guarantee that you will not be disturbed.
There he is. That's the one. We want you. That's a critter. Take it.
Stand where you are.
Put down those guns and surrender.
Quiet. Listen to me. Dr. Stevens is in there.
We want him, too. He's in cahoots with you.
Quiet. You, Sheriff. Are you one of the lynch mob?
No, but I
Then listen to me. The doctor's trying to save Lem Decker's life.
Don't listen to him. Rush him.
Bullets are waiting for the first man to rush. Who'll it be? No one. Then listen to me. Dot and I were with Decker when he was shot. Neither of us fired the shot. It was fired by someone outside the house. The truth will come out as soon as Lem is able to speak.
The same situation as it was with Lem's cousin.
Yes, the same situation. Sheriff, will you go inside?
For what?
Lem Decker may speak. You've got to hear what he says.
Boys, we gotta get the doc away if Lem's to have a chance. That Sawbones will finish him if the bullet didn't.
All right, talk all you want. But don't try to rush this door. Are you coming, Sheriff?
Yes, I'm coming.
In the hour that followed, the mob made several threats, but each time the menacing guns of the Lone Ranger caused the men to fall back. In the meantime, Dr. Stevens worked with fierce concentration. He heard nothing but the labored breathing of the man on the table, saw nothing but the small area in which he worked. He extracted the bullet.
Same as the one that killed his cousin.
The sheriff studied the bullet.
Looks like it came from a sneak gun. Not many like it around town.
On the porch, the masked man watched each move made by any member of the crowd. He knew that there were men who would draw and fire at the first relaxation of vigilance. From time to time, he spoke.
Maybe the man who shot Lem Decker is among you right now. Maybe the sheriff is listening to Lem at this very moment. Maybe he's getting the name of a killer.
The minutes dragged, but the masked man's guns remained steady. Silence fell over the crowd. Then the door opened. The sheriff appeared.
Sheriff.
You'd better go inside. The doc wants to see you.
Right.
Hey, what about Lem Decker?
Boys, I've seen a lot of things in my day, but nothing to tie to what Doc Stevens just done. He brought a man back to life. Lem Decker is going to live. What's more, the masked man that stood here a minute ago was no more a crook than I am. He was a man we've all heard about, but never expected to see in these parts. The Lone Ranger.
How do you know?
I'll tell you how I know, Baldy. Lem Decker told me.
Did Lem speak? Lem Decker.
What else did he say?
How did Lem know?
Yes, sir, gents. One of you knew the Lone Ranger from another town. Strange to say, that one is the killer of Lem's cousin and the robber of the bank.
Did Lem name him?
He named him. I want you, Baldy.
You won't get me alive. I'll show you. Go, my leg.
That'll hold you, you ornery scheming murderer.
I got him. I got his leg. Look out,
Take
my
the
leg.
critter to jail and turn that Indian loose. The Lone Ranger is riding to meet his friend.
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated.
This has been a presentation of OTRWesterns.com, and we hope you enjoyed. Please take some time to like and rate our shows in your favorite podcast application. Follow us on Facebook by going to OTRWesterns.com/Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel by going to OTRWesterns.com/YouTube. And send us an email, podcast@OTRWesterns.com. You can call and leave us a voicemail, 707-986-8739. This episode is copyright under the Attribution Non-Commercial Share Alike Copyright. For more information, go to OTRWesterns.com/copyright. Have a great day, and thanks for listening.